I'm just going to do a very quick little demonstration because someone wants me to train a willow for them. Because willow, I do not often produce willow because not many people like willow. So I'm going to show you what I would do with this. So this is just a cutting. This cutting was made 2 years ago. 2 years ago from quite a thick stem. And I just stuck it in water and then put it in a pot. So here it is. So usually weeping willow, left to their own devices, do not weep. When the branches get long, they weep. So you have to help it along. So, and the trunks are usually very thick, but I can try and bend it, but probably I may not even try. I think just by wiring the stems, let's take this off, it will look quite presentable. So at the moment it doesn't look very much like a bonsai, but I will make it look like a bonsai. So we will wire the branches to give it more of a what we call bonsai look. So choosing the grade of wire, I always tell people that much of it is common sense. You have to know what grade of wire will bend what thickness of trunk. So with this thickness, not trunk, the branch, I will just put this on and make it look more like a miniature tree. I keep saying that I should make more willow, but as I said, there are not many people who like willow. But this is by no means a good example of a bonsai. I've seen people who have willows with thick trunk. I used to have one, but it died. They're very hard to keep alive and to keep in good condition. And that one is still around, but I'm regrowing it. So you must be asking me, why am I wiring weeping willow? Weeping willow only weep when they are very big trees because the weight of the branches makes the branches hang downwards. But left to their own devices, the young trees, they do not weep. So I've got to make it look that it's weeping just by wiring. So you see the difference it will make. So I'm going to wire them all as much as possible. I'm using 2mm wire. Willow is certainly to be tried if you've never tried willow before, because the cuttings are very easy to propagate. You can even propagate simply by putting it in water. You don't even have to put it in soil, and it will send roots. It will root. And you can also make cuttings with very big trunks. But sometimes you get dieback on willow. I think that putting it at a slightly different angle may give a different appearance. I don't think I need these branches. I know this part is very straight. If I split the trunk, it might be able to bend, but I won't risk it because I don't think this customer is so fussy. So even these little ones I can wire a little more to get more shape. So I think that has changed its shape a little more. It made it look more like a weeping willow, because before that it didn't look so nice. So this is more like the weeping willow that you would see as a big tree. I would plant it at a slant and I would put it in a pot. So I found quite a nice Chinese pot, and I've chosen a slightly deep pot because the branches hang, so this shaped pot would be better. And willows are so tough, you can do anything to them. The roots will take it. By the way, willows like to be stored in water in the summertime. So they're very thirsty plants. The willows, by the way, can be repotted twice a year. So you can pot it in the spring and again in late summer. The roots are so vigorous that they could do with repotting twice a year. If this is the front of the tree, I'm going to put the decoration towards the front. Now I noticed there's a root there. And this root was the original cutting, so I'm going to cut that off. But I think there is sufficient root in the rest of the tree. So this is going to stay there. Let me just get a more powerful instrument. So that is the angle of planting of the willow. I'll tidy it up later, but it's just to show you the principle. So simple. The angle of planting is quite nice. If you planted it straight, it wouldn't look the same. So look at that. You see, that makes it more artistic. So there you go. You must be wondering what I'm doing in this jungle. But this is another weeping willow. There is a history behind this willow. And this tree, I started making in 1974. This is my first book, but it's the Italian version, I think. And as you know, most of my books are in 8 languages, English and 7 languages. So I can't find that English book, but this is the book. And on, I think, page 94, I will show you the original tree that I had. So this is the tree as it was photographed in 1983, because this book was published in 84. So that is the very same tree. In 1984, after 7 years, it had acquired a trunk so thick. If we look at it closely, I can't take it out of the pot. This tree, because of old age, started dying. The top has all died. If you look at it closely, the top has all died. So I decided to regrow the tree. So I put it in a flower pot and I stood it on gravel. So you can see all the roots that have come out of the pot. So look at it. See how vigorous it is. Just in 1 year, in 1 year's time, all the roots have grown into the ground like this. In fact, I think you can try making root cuttings with this even. It will grow. So this is what I did. And I'm trying to grow a new head for the tree. And I kept this as a bottom sacrificial branch. So this tree has quite a lot happening to it. Let me take it out of the pot to show you closer the detail. I think I can get it out. Okay. So let us look at this tree more closely. Look at that. This is the tree 74 makes it about 50 years old, almost. 50 years old, I started making this tree. So the hollow trunk is just old age and the tree was dying. I think you can still see the shape of the tree from the book. If we look at that book, you see that curve? See that bit of the curve? This is that root there. So that is still that original tree. It had a top there. So this is the original tree. But 48 years on, it is looking like this. So I've grown it in this flower pot to make it strong again, because I want to regrow the tree. So these are all what we call sacrificial branches. Even this is a sacrificial branch, but I was trying to wrap it around to make it look like a false tree. I can even still do that if I want to. See, I've even grown this to wrap around to make it a thicker trunk, like a false trunk. So I don't know what to do, because now that this leader is growing, I could even make the tree grow from that as the leader. But there are so many possibilities. Can you see what I'm doing? So many possibilities to this tree. So I can even cut it back there and have a thick tree with a hollow trunk here. But I probably shouldn't rush it, because you can see how nicely it's developing. You know, I'm wrapping all these young shoots around to make the trunk thicker. Like this one I'm wrapping around to make it thicker. So there are endless possibilities. Okay, let me cut this off so you can see what is going on. This I can use for making a cutting. I'll get several trees out of this. See, all these I can cut and make new trees from them. So you can see what's happening here. You see this branch has been going on. I'll cut this off. So can you see what I've been trying to do? I've been trying to wrap around another branch to make the whole trunk thicker. So I must still continue to do it as an experiment to see what happens. So I always like doing experiments. So this is as far as I got with this tree, and probably I can try and bend it to give it more bend. I can even start making it make it look more like a bonsai just by wiring. You can see it like that. So there's endless possibilities. Endless possibilities. All these can become cuttings. All these become cuttings. So even now, if I did that and wire this down, I could get quite a nice, interesting, large willow bonsai. So this is the history of this tree. So it is sheer old age that this tree has started doing this. But you can't help it, you know, people get old, trees get old. And let's see what happens to this in time. So something exciting will happen from this. So I will continue doing this as an experiment to see. You see, even the tree from this side, the line is quite nice. So watch this space, as I say, and you will probably get a very interesting project coming from this. So this is the willow from Peter's first book after 48 years. There you go.